Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Cirque Colors Desert Bloom collection for spring 2018. There are 9 polishes here altogether, 3 corellis and then 6 shimmers. So I will link the website down below because these are available right now, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Pebble, and this is a really light, almost pinkish nude corelli base with these little tiny black specks throughout it. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat, but hopefully you can see all the black specks that are in there. And it does cover pretty evenly. It's a bit sheer, but it's pretty even as well. Good formula on this one. I do think it would run a bit to the sides of the nail if you did too thick of a coat, but it's not terrible. So this one actually covers completely for me on 2 coats. If I remember correctly, I did do 3 in my pictures. This one's probably going to be 2 or 3 just depending on your application and your preference. It's hard to tell because it was pretty sheer on that first coat, but it looks to me like it does dry a little bit darker than it applies. So that is 2 coats of Pebble. The next polish is called Mineralized, and this is a little bit of a darker nude color with those little black specks. Here it is next to Pebble, so you can see the difference. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat, and my polishing is really crazy. I have a cut like right on my thumb where I have to be holding the cap, and I feel just a little bit unsteady right now. Good formula on this one as well. It feels about the same as the last one. Too thick of a coat would probably run a bit, because I guess it's not thin, but it's on the thinner side of good. Does that make sense? But that goes for pretty much any polish. If you put too thick of a coat of it on your nail, it's going to run. So like the last one, this one does cover in 2 coats. I think I did 3 for the pictures for this one as well. So that's just going to depend on your preference, or for me, just my polishing from day to day. But I think this one is way more solid of a 2-coater than the last one was. And it does also seem like it dries just a little bit darker than it applies. So that is 2 coats of Mineralized. The next polish is called Rose Canyon, and this is a medium to light-ish pink acrylic base with those little tiny black flecks. So this one is also a little bit sheer on that first coat, but not terrible. I'm actually not even sure if that's picking up on camera. I really like these speckled polishes that Cirque makes. They do really good shimmers, which you'll see here in the next few polishes, but these are my absolute favorite. The formula on this one does feel a little thicker than the last ones. Not bad, but like I said, those were a little bit on the thinner side of good, or for me anyway, who prefers polishes that are a little bit thicker. This is perfect. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and you can see it also, like the other ones, dries a little bit darker than it applies. And these little black specks in here do not dry like a glitter. They don't dry textured, and they're not hard to remove once it's fully dry. They do tend to stick to the skin a little bit though. So that is 2 coats of Rose Canyon. So the next polish is called Fata Morgana, I think, and this is a really light, almost pinky lavender with a really strong orangey gold shimmer and little holographic sparkles. So this one covers pretty well on that first coat. You can still see the nail line, but for being such a light color, it's actually pretty opaque, all things considered. We're only 1 coat in, but the shimmer is standing out really nicely. And you do get a few of those holographic sparkles. I feel like they're a little less dense on the nail than they are in the bottle, but they're definitely still there. And a really good formula on this one. So this one actually does cover completely in 2 coats, which I think is pretty good, again, for being such a light color. I do have pretty short nails right now, and my nail line is not super white. So if you have a very white nail line or just longer nails where there is a lot more nail line to show, you might end up needing 3 with this one. And those little holographic sparkles that are in there shouldn't dry textured, maybe like a little tiny bit, but not bad. And they shouldn't be difficult to remove because they're not very dense. So that is 2 coats of Fata Morgana. The next polish is called Palm Springs, and it's a light blue, but it's very vibrant. It's a very vibrant light blue with a really strong pink shimmer and that scattered holographic. So this one is also just a little bit sheer on that first coat. I can still see my nail line, but it does cover pretty well. Same as the last one, the shimmer stands out really nicely. That holographic sparkle is in there, probably about the same as the last one. I feel like when I look at it, the holographic sparkle looks a little bit more dense, but that might also be because it is a darker base colored polish and there's more of a contrast between the sparkle and the color, so it stands out a little bit more. Formula is really good on this one as well. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and that second coat deepens it up just a little bit and makes that shimmer stand out nicely. There are some brush strokes through that shimmer and through the polish when it's wet, but as it dries, those do fade away. So that is 2 coats of Palm Springs. The next polish is called Wildflowers, and this is a kind of dusty purple base with that orangey gold shimmer to it, and then that scattered holographic. So this one also just a little bit sheer on that first coat, but not bad. Just like the last two, the shimmer stands out really nicely. You do get a good amount of that scattered holographic in there. I'm starting to think that with the lightest shimmer, the first one that I showed, that it was just that the holographic wasn't standing out as much against the base that made it seem like there was a little bit less than these darker colors. Really good formula on this one as well. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats. The second coat does deepen the color a bit, and like the last ones, those brush strokes through the shimmer do go away as it dries. All of the shimmers in this collection do dry a little bit dull, so you will want top coat. I forgot to mention that. I feel like it's way more noticeable with this one than it has been with the other ones. So that is 2 coats of Wildflowers. So the next polish is called Earthen, and this is an almost taupey color. It's like a little bit of a purpley taupe with a pretty strong red shimmer and that scattered silver holographic. Here it is next to Wildflowers, so you can see the difference. So this one also covers pretty well on that first coat, just a little bit of nail line showing. And just about the same as the other ones, the shimmer stands out really nicely. You get a decent amount of that holographic sparkle out as well. And the formula is also really good on this one. I really, really like these shimmers. I fought the shimmer trend so hard. And now here we are, how long later since these started coming out? Like a year or more? Not like the first shimmer ever came out a year ago, but this started becoming really popular. And I love them. Same thing happened when Corelli's first came out. I hated them and I fought it so hard, and now I love them. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats. Looking at it after it dried, I couldn't really see much nail line on the first coat, but this second coat does make the color considerably darker. And then that darker color does help the shimmer stand out a little bit better as well. So that is 2 coats of Earthen. So the next polish is called Taos, and this is an almost teal-y-ish green. It is showing up a little bit more blue, less green on camera than it actually is in person. This also has that really strong pinky red shimmer and the scattered holographic. So like all the other ones, this one also covers pretty well on that first coat, just a little bit sheer. The shimmer is standing out pretty nicely, and there is a good amount of that scattered holographic in there. And the same formula as the other ones as well. Pretty good. So this one also covers completely in 2 coats, and it deepens the color a little bit, but not as much as the other ones that I've seen. Other ones in this collection. And again, these do dry a little bit dull, so you will want top coat. So that is 2 coats of Taos. And the last polish is called Dusky Skies, and this is a purpley blue. One minute you look at it and it looks a little blue, and then the next minute it looks like a very vibrant royal purple color with that strong pinky red shimmer and scattered holographic. My first thought when I saw this was that it looked a lot like Coronation, which would have been awesome if it was true. But then when I stuck the 2 together, you can see Coronation is a much, much deeper base and then has a shiftier shimmer. It shifts from like a red to a greeny gold. So this one is a bit sheer on the first coat, a little bit more sheer than I expected just because it is a darker color and the other ones have been so opaque, but it's not bad. The shimmer stands out really nicely like all the other ones, and again, good distribution of that silver holographic micro glitter, and really good formula on this one as well. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats. You can see that that color deepens quite a bit. This one also dries much more noticeably dull than the others. They all dry dull, but I feel like I've noticed it a lot more with this one. And then what was the other one that dried really dull? I believe it was Wildflowers, maybe? Wow. Okay, moving on, like that didn't just happen. That was so, I don't even know how that happened, and I've completely lost my train of thought. Brush strokes in the shimmer a little bit when it's wet, but they do go away when it dries. And also, I mentioned that I feel like this looks like a blue, and then it looks like a purple in different lighting. The base itself is blue, and then the reddy pink shimmer that's in there kind of gives it a purple appearance. I think that's why it shifts so much. So that is 2 coats of Dusky Skies. So I felt like I needed to pick 2 from this collection. Pebble is one of my favorites because I really, really love these speckled Corellis, and this is the lightest one out of the collection. I do prefer lighter Corellis to darker ones. And then Dusky Skies also because it is this really pretty royal blue, but then with the shimmer in it, the next second you look at it, it looks very purple. and it's shifty and it's very multi-dimensional, and I like it. So that is the Cirque Colors Desert Bloom collection. Again, I will link the website down below where you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.